Happy hump day. We're celebrating by going to a commercial gym, a little bit out of my element. We're doing squats with about 75% of my max, 5 sets of 4. This is a weight where it's heavy enough to be fun, but it's light enough to where you can still whip it around. So it's just kind of a fun squat day. It's like a lighter squat day. Bench was the only thing that felt a little rough today. Using commercial gym equipment is never fun. The bars are thinner, they're whippier, the bench feels like a piece of wood. None of that's an excuse. You can still get it done as long as you have a barbell to work with, of course. But just the foreign equipment mixed with not having a spotter or anybody to even give me a lift off definitely made me a little bit less confident. I felt out of my element. So I worked up to a single of 365, lifting myself off. And I think it was just in my head, I managed to misgroove the fuck out of it at the bottom of the rep. It still popped back up once we got back in groove, of course, but that was definitely frustrating, annoying as hell. Did my back off sets with 305, so as you can see, it's still the lighter end of my training cycle. It's the beginning of the training cycle. We're not even working with 315 yet for the back off sets. Did a 5x5. Even those felt heavy, so it might have just been a really bad day for bench for me. It is what it is, it happens. Then I got to do dumbbell pressing. I haven't done dumbbell pressing in about 2 years since my photo shoot with Isotory, and I was not a 400-pound bench presser back then. So coming back to dumbbells, being much stronger, was the coolest feeling in the world. It felt like I had superpowers. I did my last set of 10 with the 120-pound dumbbells. This was a rep PR with the 120s after doing 2 other sets of 10, after doing a 5x5 on the bench, and after squatting. That felt amazing. Like back in the day, I think my best ever was like maybe 8 reps, and that was fresh. Like I came into the gym and went to dumbbell pressing first. So crazy, crazy difference. Definitely excited to throw these back into the repertoire. Is that the word I'm thinking of? They're awesome. So I just ordered the family package of meat from Omaha Steaks, which includes filet mignons, top sirloin cuts, boneless pork chops, boneless chicken breasts, kielbasa sausages, Omaha steak burgers, potato au gratin, I don't even know what that is, caramel apple tartlets, and signature season packets. And this is $200 on their website, but I got it for $49.99. Fantasy is a discount code that a fantasy football podcast was given away, and you all know I don't follow sports, so I damn sure don't follow fantasy football, but thank God my boys do. And my boy Nick Ferraro, who was listening to this podcast, called me up and told me, hey, go to Omaha Steaks, type fantasy into the search bar, thank me later, and I did, and it pulled up this $200 package for $49. It was I think like $65 after shipping, which isn't too bad.
Smash out on a cop car, sweeter than a Pop-Tart. You know you are not hard, I didn't make the hot chart. Remember I used to chop hard, living like a rock star. I'm living like a rock star. I've been fucking hoes and popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star.
Oh shit, a wild Amanabuchi appears.
Why is that a thing? A wild. Hi!
I made it up. That whole thing, I made the entire thing up.
Only other YouTuber from Rhode Island.
Yes. If you guys aren't aware, she's originally from Rhode Island, the biggest state in the entire world.
Yes, it's huge here.
She's here visiting home. Said the boyfriend's coming tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. We're gonna work out tomorrow.
Well, I'll try to get a lift in here in Top Strength before she goes back out to the West Coast.
Yes.
Heavy deadlift day, warming up our lower body sessions when it's freezing like it is right now with box jumps. Still in my jacket or hoodie or whatever I come in. And I don't worry about the height. I use whatever's usually already set up. It's about mid-stomach height for me, and I'm 5'8". And I do a bunch of these and superset them with reps with just the barbell, but focusing on really flexing and squeezing my ass during them. This not only literally warms your entire body up, get your muscles activated and turned on, it also activates your glutes really well. So they'll be fired inspiring when you go to actually deadlift with weight. Shout out to Ani Brand, the best deadlift shoe in the game, flatter than wrestling shoes. The link for these bad boys is in the info box below. Time to lift.
Yeah. 181 is like, you're too heavy to lift at 165, and you're not strong enough to lift at 198.
Alright, so I told you guys in the last time I pulled 565 for 2 that the next time I pulled it, I wanted it to move super clean and super fast, like I could do it for 3. Well, I went for it today, and it was still slow. So, this study has concluded that I am in fact just too weak to pull 565 for 3 reps. But that's cool, man, that's fine. That just gives me a challenge. I want to get better and I want to get to a point where I am strong enough to pull that for 3 reps. An ultimate goal of mine would be to double 585, 6 plates, pull that for 2. That would be so cool to me. Obviously deadlift is my struggling lift, so. I'm still very happy though, the fact that I can just pull that consistently for doubles now, that weight, which not too long ago was my max. Very cool. Also, in case anyone's curious why I keep dropping the deadlift at the top of my rep, why aren't you doing your negatives? Well, there's 2 reasons. One, the negative in a deadlift is like useless. It's like the only lift where the negative is actually more dangerous than it is beneficial. Every other lift is the opposite, of course. The real reason though, the main reason is just because the knurling on a deadlift bar, it's like a cheese grater. And when you go and put that bad boy back down on the ground and it bounces and vibrates in your hands, it's painful. It's more painful than the actual lift itself. So when I get to the top and I'm done with the rep and I've locked it out, I just drop that bad boy. Of course, only do it in a gym where it's acceptable and you have like proper padding to catch the weights and everything. If you're in a commercial gym where you're gonna get in a lot of trouble, don't do it. Mail time. Woo, new chalk, yeah. There we go, brand new Stephen King book. What's up? This is Black House. Stephen King, Peter Straub. This is a collab. I never heard of this. I just heard good reviews on it, so I bought it. Oh, speaking of which, I never told you. I finished the entire Dark Tower series in about 5 months. And I even read The Wind Through the Keyhole, which is like the little extra book that was written in 2012, which is actually meant to go in between, I believe, the 4th and the 5th book. It goes in that order. But it was written separately. You can actually read it as a standalone without reading the entire series. And he made this years after the series was done, so I just read the whole series first and then read this. Very cool. Awesome series, 10 out of 10. While I was waiting for a new book to come in, I actually started rereading the beginning, the first book all over again. And it was actually really cool to read this. After reading the whole series, there's so many things that you don't notice the first time you read it. It was really cool. But yeah, dude, amazing series. Like, I fell in love with the characters. I've never been that drawn into a book before, ever. It was as addicting as a good Netflix series. Like, it was incredible. The ending was phenomenal. I thought the ending was perfect. I don't think there's any better way to end a series the way it ended. It was just incredible. I highly recommend this series. But yeah, I banged out all 5,000 pages in about 5 months, which is pretty awesome. Also, just an interesting fun fact. The first book was written about 40 years ago. And it was written like 26 years before the last book was written. Talk about a huge gap there. That's nuts. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will definitely see you in the next video. Peace.